Celebrity journalist and author Malcolm Gladwell is getting roasted right now, and for good reason. In a recent podcast interview, Gladwell gave quite the take about why remote work is supposedly bad and destroying office culture. We're going to watch his remarks, and I'll tell you what I think, and then ask for your opinion. But first, if you're new here, like this video, comment, subscribe, yada yada yada. And now, let's jump to Malcolm.
It's very hard to feel necessary when you're physically disconnected. And you know, as we face the battle that all organizations are facing now in getting people back into the office, that it's really hard to explain this core psychological truth, which is we want you to have a feeling of belonging and to feel necessary. We want you to join our team. And if you're not here, it's really hard to do that.
So far I don't necessarily disagree that it can be harder to have a sense of belonging when you're working remote, but I think that's up to leadership to cultivate, and it doesn't negate all the very many upsides of remote work. So many people are able to manage their work-life balance, save hours from commuting, save enormous transportation costs, and juggle family lives because they're able to do their work remotely. If the trade-off there is a little bit of office culture or belonging, I think for a lot of people, that's worth it. I also have to say, and I'm not going to do too many low blows because it's not really engaging with the argument, but Malcolm Gladwell is a little bit of a hypocrite on this front. In a 2008 New York Magazine article, they actually reported about how he stayed miles away from his office at the New Yorker, who, quote, don't see him in the office very often, owing to his self-professed aversion to Midtown, but who grant him a license to write about whatever he chooses and accommodate him with couriers to pick up his fact-checking materials, lest he be forced to overcome that aversion. So he literally wasn't willing to go into the office, all sense of belonging apparently irrelevant, even when it's just a couple miles away in New York. In a 2005 article from The Guardian, he said, I hate desks. Desks are now banished. And it was reported that he starts the day writing at home, done from his sofa using his laptop. And in a 2010 Wall Street Journal article, Gladwell actually described himself as someone who writes in coffee shops for a living. Dude, clearly you've seen some benefit to remote work in the past.
It's not in your best interest to work at home. I know it's a hassle to come to the office, but if you're just sitting in your pajamas in your bedroom, is that the work life you want to live? Right? Don't you want to feel part of something? All
right, so this is the part of it that actually ticked me off. You don't know what's in my best interest. I do. Work from home isn't inherently good or inherently bad. It's different for every individual. People have different circumstances, different work-life balances, and different styles. I'm a journalist and content creator and political commentator, but I'm actually quite introverted. So for me, working from home lets me be far more efficient. When everything went down in 2020, I was actually working at the Washington Examiner, a conservative magazine in Washington, D.C., and I'd get on the train and commute almost an hour in every day, get up and dress in a full suit. I learned from that experience, and I wouldn't do it differently again. But when everything went down and we went to remote work, I found myself finishing the same amount of work I was accomplishing in an entire workday by about 2:30 in the afternoon. For me, work from home is more efficient and makes me a lot happier to be at home with my dog. Say hi, Reggie. Say hi. Oh yeah, he doesn't like this. But for lots of other people, maybe working from home just doesn't work. They couldn't do it. It all depends on your individual styles, so it'll be different for every person. And it also varies a ton depending on your industry that you're in. Some lines of work lend themselves much easier to remote work. Others, you really do have to be there in person. That's why I find these sweeping pronouncements and generalizations so frustrating. As for the whole work from home in your pajamas thing, he kind of has a point there. One important thing to do if you work from home is to actually get dressed and wear a different outfit every day at the start of the day. There's actually research about how this is psychologically beneficial. It's not great if you're working from home and you are in pajamas or sweats, but also there's no reason you have to do that. And even if you do, it's not the end of the world. So this next thing that he said, I thought was particularly dumb.
If you preferentially select people based on their desire to work in an office, that's a really wonderful way to kind of build a nice office culture, right?
Yeah.
Just for the moment, you can just sort of cream skim all the people who
Exactly.
believe
Bring
there's
them all
value
together.
in that.
This is so wrong. You would essentially be ruling out tons of qualified candidates for your jobs and for your openings and just going with whoever could show up in person. Maybe the most talented person, the most driven person, the best fit, who's going to take you the furthest, has little kids at home and only will accept a remote work job. Maybe they're based in another state and have a partner who can't relocate. You're literally whittling down your applicant pool by what, 95% if you say you have to be in this major city to fill this role, and yet you're saying that will improve your employees and your office culture? Basic mathematics would suggest that by reducing your applicant pool based on this rather arbitrary thing that doesn't have any correlation to talent, you're going to make everything worse at your company, not better. Huge swaths of people won't accept an in-person job when a remote option could be an option. I'm one of them, so I don't blame them. Alright guys, those are my thoughts on this whole work from home thing. I know there's a lot of hot takes out there. I know a lot of high up business people don't like it, but guess what? Those closest to the situation, we do. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you agree with Malcolm? Have you worked from home? How's it been for you? And make sure to like this video, comment, subscribe, yada yada yada. And I'll see you all in the next video.